Hi, so my grandmother was an immigrant from Austria. This short little ladylike blonde lady, like 5'2", eyes of blue, petite, completely inoffensive. Always bought Avon, always collected Avon and Hummel figurines. That's my grandmother for you, but one day. No, I don't want to say this, because I think she was so nice to me. And I think she was nice to most of the people that she knew, but she had delusions which were dangerous. That is to say, one day, when I was just a little kid, on my lap, without a word, she put down this, it wasn't empty, but it was a closed, unwrapped box from Lazarus. Today we would say Macy's, but in Ohio it used to be Lazarus. Maybe it said Higbee's. Maybe it said J.C. Penney. Not Penny's. It said J.C. Penney back then. I open it up and it's like there's all of these pamphlets about how the Holocaust didn't happen. Because my family was not Jewish. Not on your Nelly. Not on either side was my family Jewish. Yes? I'm sorry, I'm busy. I've had my DNA tested through Ancestry.com. I've told people like 5 million times, and if they don't believe me, I'll tell them 6 million times. It'll take me a while to get to 6 million. Yeah, as you can imagine. So I did talk to my significant other today, and they said, yeah, I guess that person really is running afoul of the transgender lobby, and that's why they're making it news. No, they're smearing her. What has she done? Has she committed crimes against humanity like Milosevic, or however you would say it in Eastern European? I don't know. Milosevic. Once a vitch, always a bitch. So stop kvetching about being a vitch. If you're a vitch, just admit to it. Yeah, okay, I don't know. Because, Österreich is like between the West and the East. It's almost like Istanbul, but not quite. Because, in Austria, we're still Christian. We might be a little bit conflicted. We might think Hungarians are filthy people, as my grandmother also said. I don't know. I haven't met a Hungarian that I thought was clean, but then again, I've never met a clean person who admitted to being a Hungarian. You get all this weird stuff from the old world. When your grandparents, should I say emigrated or immigrated? I would say immigrated to America, say during the 20s. I mean, you got the old world mentality. It would come out. It would come out even if they were 70 or 80 years old. That prejudice stuck with them. And I am so really frightened that people have not learned the lessons of the past. World War I, World War II, let alone the previous wars and the more recent wars. I mean, you cannot be prejudiced against people because of their race, color, creed, or nationality, but the book of Revelation tells us about the spirit of the Antichrist. It might be in other books of the New Testament, I'm not sure. Well, I don't know. If you want to do your fact-checking, go ahead, but at least I'm getting you to even open the Bible. Those who rarely do or never have. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty bad right now. It's pretty bad. One of my favorite songs that I kind of discovered was one of my favorite songs is Cole Porter's Anything Goes. And that was happening in the 20s, but now it's actually happening now. I mean, they were very progressive back then. And Cole himself was, he was, well, admittedly bisexual, and I'm like, I don't think a person who is conflicted about their sexuality ought to pretend to be another gender or ought to impersonate the other gender. St. Paul himself kind of said, some people are kind of meant to not be married. He spoke against homosexuality quite a bit, actually, in the New Testament. St. Paul, in fact, wrote most of the New Testament, not homosexuality in terms of this is something you've been born with and you're guilty of it forever. No, it's like if you're going to work this out in your life, like you're going to live as a woman when you were born as a man, right? Or you're going to be a woman and have sex with another woman. I mean, that was considered to be taboo by St. Paul, and most Christians should believe it, but many Christians don't hear it these days. So now I hear that J.K. Rowling, not by any means, I never even read one of her books because I was disgusted by the notion of the occult. I always want to keep far. Well, now the occult is biting her right in the ass because now they've turned their back on her. But I applaud her bravery, and I hope she endures her beheading quite bravely and in a very womanly fashion. Snap!